Hello, and welcome to Unpopular Opinion with Schaafy and Pals, Season 1, Episode 4, the first episode of a 3-part series. Introduction: A difficult goodbye. Dear Seattle Mariners, front office, leadership, and ownership, this is a letter I hope I'd never have to write. But after all these years, it's time to say goodbye. I want you to know how deeply I cherish the history we share. You are woven into the fabric of my earliest memories in the 1980s. I was 9 years old on September 14, 1990, sitting on my father's lap and steering our old Ford station wagon as he operated the pedals. We were driving around the neighborhood while listening to the radio. I remember hearing Dave Niehouse's voice rise as Griffey father and son hit back-to-back home runs. And I quote Dave Niehouse, "The story continues to get better and better and better. They do it. The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs. Etch that in your baseball history books." That sound, that moment of pure unexpected joy, taught me how to love baseball. My father pointed out we had just heard history, and it's something that might never happen again, has never happened in his lifetime up until that moment. My dad, brother Chris, and I went to the game. Griffey was awarded his first of 10 consecutive Gold Glove awards. We had so many high points. The legendary 1995 slide when Edgar hit the double and chaos erupted, proving we mattered. We had beat the Yankees. We took my little brother to the Kingdome on the first Buhner Buzz night, and somehow we lost him. We found him in the security office with a balloon and a face covered in cotton candy. Mark McGwire hit the longest home run ever in the Kingdome against Randy Johnson that game, and even though it was the opposite team, it was amazing to witness in person. The euphoria of the 2001 season, the shared laughter at the Buhner Buzz Cut game with my godson Devin and my buddy Albert. The 90s continued to deliver, moving into the new millennium, capped by the All-Star game and the 116 wins in 2001. Shit, at that Buhner Buzz game, I saw Cal Ripken Jr., the Iron Man, hit a home run against us in his final season. He later hit one again in the All-Star game. A couple seasons later, in 2004, I took my dad and my brother to a game, and we got to see John Olerud hit a home run. And Richie Sexson hit a home run. In 2010, I caught a foul ball that Hall of Famer Vladimir Guerrero hit when he was with the Rangers. My childhood hero, Ken Griffey Jr., came back to finish his career in Seattle. Sitting in the suite with my friends Lynn's tats as she was pregnant with her daughter Stella. We were wearing our Apple Core jackets that we had gotten from our company for being top Apple sales. I think I've seen King Felix pitch at least 10 times. One in which we lost against the Yankees, and I lost a $5 bet to my dear friend Crystal. Opening day 2011 with Erica, and we saw Macklemore and Ryan Lewis perform My Oh Mine. At that time, that was the largest crowd they had performed in front of. That was before they blew up. We wore white shoes to honor Dave Niehouse, who had just passed away a few months before. These moments are not just wins. They are core memories I will carry forever. I will always look back fondly at the time we had together, and when we pass each other in the hallway, I will have a little smile and give a nod and move forward. You showed me the exhilarating beauty of this game, but over time, you also taught me a second heartbreaking lesson: how to no longer love it. The endless waiting, and the crushing disappointment had finally taken their toll, and I have to step away now. This is a permanent decision. I will not watch. I will not listen, and I will no longer support this relationship with my time or my money. If, in the future, you finally win the World Series, I hope you do for the sake of the players you have who are on the team right now. I truly love them. Unfortunately, I will not support. I will have a brief, fond look back at our time together if that happens, but that is all it will be. I won't return, and I won't celebrate. I wish you nothing but the best. This is where we break up. With sadness and finality, a former fan, Michael Schaafy.
Unpopular Opinion, that's the name of the show. Hosted by Schaafy and some pals that he knows. We'll have a heart-to-heart, so tune in and subscribe. It's Unpopular Opinion and a hell of a vibe. Love it or dislike it, it's all just the same. 'Cause Unpopular Opinion is there in the name.
Wow, welcome to the show. So depressing, right? On a bright note, as with every episode so far, shout out to our Mount Tahoma Thunderbirds. They beat Silas High School yesterday like 45-0. I think that Silas may have scored maybe 10 points, maybe none. Anyways, the Mount Tahoma Thunderbirds are undefeated. They're 8-0, and they're ranked number 1 in state for 3A football. So amazing. I'm just so honored to be a part of the Mount Tahoma alumni. I am, of course, sporting some Mount Tahoma gear for those of you who are watching this on the YouTube. So yeah, I'm going to tell you something funny. I guarantee I bought this shirt at the Goodwill probably 7 or 8 years ago, and I am almost 100% certain from my research that this is from the women's fast pitch jerseys. This is a women's fast pitch jersey. So if you played for Mount Tahoma High School in the mid to late 2010s and you gave your jersey to Goodwill, a middle-aged bearded dad with a small addiction to caffeine purchased it and is proudly wearing it on his podcast. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. So let me hit for the Mount Tahoma Thunderbirds. Way to go. Update on the Mariners. So, wow. As you heard from my breakup letter, I'm done. And there's lots of reasons why, and we're going to get into some of that. But I just want to give you an update. As most of you know, today is October 25th, and the Mariners lost last week to the Blue Jays in Game 7. Technically, I guess it was earlier this week. And they are now out of the playoffs. Their season is done. I don't want to take away from the fact that they had an incredible season. Dan Wilson's probably going to win Manager of the Year. A lot of people are blaming him because they're saying, "Oh, he's not a good manager." Okay, well, he's a good enough manager to take his team and take the number 1 team in the American League to Game 7. The Blue Jays were dope, and they are stacked and freaking loaded. And for us to take them to that, I'm sorry, for them to take them that far, it's hats off to them. Dan Wilson did great. Also, the other thing is I'm going to defend Dan Wilson because of the fact that this is his first full season as a manager. He has never managed before that. He was like an operations just consultant for the team, and then he would sit in the booth sometimes. So if you're coming after Dan Wilson, give him some time because he's only going to get better as a manager. And I know that's so contradictory, but Michael, you're not giving him any time. You're giving up on the team and you're quitting. Right. Okay. So come at me. That's fine. Unpopular opinion. And Schaafy's got a big unpopular opinion today. The unpopular opinion for this show and for this 3-part series is The Seattle Mariners need to win a World Series in 2026 for the fans, or they need to sell the team. This is going to be a 3-part series. I have 2 experts lined up, 2 pals, one who literally spends his vacations going to different ballparks around the country, and the other played collegiate baseball. So these dudes know ball, and they are both diehard Mariners fans, and I'm willing to bet that they don't agree with my unpopular opinion, which is the Seattle Mariners need to win a World Series in 2026 for the sake of their fans and their players, or they should just give up and sell the fucking team. And I am upset. I can't believe it's so incredible to watch what Cal Raleigh did. The season Julio had, and here's the thing, he did the majority of that in the second half of the season. So many names on that list, but clearly those are our 2 big gun all-stars, right? Those are the best players on the Seattle Mariners, and to see what they did along with the additions of Josh Naylor and getting who is just amazing. That guy just totally fits in, and like a square peg in a square hole. Incredible. Really like his attitude, the way he came on board, and just, it was lightning for us. Stealing all those bases, he's the second slowest person in the league. That's incredible. He stole 30 bases. Getting Eugenio Suarez back, and here's the thing, a lot of people were hating on Gino, and they were like, oh man, he was batting like 150. Okay, so who else is going to hit that grand slam in game 5? Because I didn't see too many other names on that roster that would have been able to step up and do it. Don't get me wrong. Any given Sunday, any single pitch, anybody can hit a home run. You're a major league ball player. You can do it. But that was a lot of pressure. The whole entire season was riding on it. And he freaking took that. And, dude, it was incredible. That's an incredible moment. I literally wrote that breakup letter during that game as I was watching it. It was like I started writing it right before Cal hit his home run to tie it. And then I was just kind of adding to it. And then I had finished the letter, and then Gino hit that grand slam. And I said, okay, I better table my breakup letter because we're going to live to play another day. Clearly, it didn't work out. Very, very upsetting. It looked like we had that game, pretty much locked up. And then shit happens. That's baseball. That's sports. And it's a real testament to just the team played really hard. When Gino hit in game 5, he hit that grand slam, and they interviewed him afterwards. For a brief moment, I had felt just unadulterated, just passion for the game again. I had lost so much love over the past few years and the past decade for it that just by listening to what he was saying, it blew my mind. It felt so good. And all he talked about was, we want to get a World Series for the fans. The fans deserve it. The fans deserve it. Okay, great. That's what Cal's preaching. That's what Julio's preaching. I love that these guys, they're playing for it. They're trying their best. So we're not there. And so we need to get there. They need to do something. The organization needs to bring on more talent. We should be stomping those dudes. And it should have been over in 4, right? Okay, it's still baseball. Should have been over in 5. But my opinion is that we should have been a lot better. They need to invest a little bit more. There's a couple extra pieces that we need. And I'm sure that my baseball experts are going to, kind of explain a little bit more about what that is. I know that the expert I have who's coming on, who played collegiate baseball, already has some ideas. I was kind of talking to him about it, and I know that he knows what we need. And so I'm excited to, have these conversations. But the reality is that I have made up my mind, and I am no longer supporting the Seattle Mariners as an organization. I will respect and adore their players, and I love the dudes. But until the actual ownership agrees and says, hey, you know what? And it really does. It's a money thing. You got to start spending it. I'm done. And there's a reason for it. And it's really the heart to heart of this episode. And I gave it a title. It's called The Cost of 40 Years of Hope. It started in Tacoma in the 1980s. It's an easy choice for a young kid. The bright blue and gold, the promise of baseball in the Pacific Northwest. For me and so many like me, the Seattle Mariners weren't just a team, they were an identity. And we bought the hope that Ken Griffey Jr. brought. We rode the tidal wave of the double in 95. And we were absolutely certain that 116 wins in 2001 meant destiny. But those moments, and everyone that I mentioned earlier, I've been to so many games, it's ridiculous. And I've been to so many cool moments and so many more that I didn't even mention. And every one of those memories was basically a different game that I had been to. And those moments are brilliant, but they really end up serving as proof of concept for the failure that followed. And it has been. It's been a complete failure. Yeah. And you don't just support a team for 40 years. You weave them into the fabric of your life. For some of you through marriages, for us for kids, right? Moves, career changes. It's a constant. You give them your spring optimism, your summer nights, and your autumn prayers. And for 4 decades, the Mariners have taken all that unconditional love and commitment and returned the same result. Purgatory, but never the World Series. And it's heartbreaking. And I'm not the only one who says it's a failure. Cal Raleigh, arguably the best catcher in baseball right now. Platinum glove winner this year, or last year, possible MVP, just one player of the year, possibly most valuable player, said this is a failure. And he hates to look at it like that. But that's the reality. You have to look at it like it's a failure because there is a goal. And they said it in the movie Moneyball. They only care when you win the last game of the season. That's all that matters. Well, guess what the last game of the season is? It's the World Series. And they need to do it. It's been too many years, too many decades, and not going. It's a failure. A complete and utter failure. And it's very sad. I was very sad to do it. When I was writing the letter, I had tears in my eyes. I was remembering all these moments, especially the moments with my dad. Me driving the car. I was a little kid. And my dad used to let us steer the car. We'd drive it. All of us. We all have that memory. Chris, Tony, and myself. That he would drive around the neighborhood and we'd sit on his lap and we'd steer and he would drive. And and we also got to operate the blinkers, and he taught us how to use the blinkers. And we'd listen to the Mariners games; they'd be on the radio. So many times we'd be out fishing in the bay, catching salmon and whatnot, and we'd have the Mariners game on. A core memory of the Mariners when we in '95 to get to the playoffs that year, it was refuse to lose, all the Soto mojo, all of that great stuff, and we went on a winning streak, and we had to come back. We were down 10 games to the Angels, and it all kind of started with Tino Martinez hitting that game-winning home run, and then we went on this win streak. I was on a boat out in the bay in the Puget Sound fishing for salmon with my dad, eating Subway footlongs, and he hit that home run, and we were like, "Wow, okay, that's what we needed. That's the spark we needed." I have so many of these amazing memories, especially with my pop. When I took my dad to the game in 2004, and we saw Richie Sexton and John Olerud who hit those home runs, and we beat. It was like the Cardinals. It was an interleague play game, and the Cardinals came into town, and we won. And we had really great seats. It was 10 rows up from the third base side. And my dad was like, "Man, I've never sat this close. This is really cool." I had won the tickets, or gotten them from when I was in the advertising company. And one of my clients was like, "Hey, you want to go to the game tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he gave me the tickets. I was like, "Dude, these are the best tickets in the world." And I remember my dad saying, "I'll pay for parking. You got the tickets. I'll pay for parking." And that's when parking was like $20 to park at the stadium center. It's like $100 now. Anyways, it's nuts. So many memories with the Mariners and my father that I'm going to cherish this stuff, but I can't continue to go on with the team. And how do you break up with the Mariner, or, like the Mariners and the memories, like the ones that I have? You don't break up with the memories, but you can break up with a piece of it. And this it's not just this angry reaction I'm giving. It's actually an act of emotional self-preservation. Fandom is supposed to be a partnership, a reciprocal agreement where my passion is rewarded, if not with success, then at least with a credible, sustained attempt at the ultimate goal. And instead, it has become abundantly clear that this is a one-sided relationship. I'm the loyal partner who keeps showing up, only to be left waiting at the altar year after year. To step away is to finally acknowledge that I cannot keep pouring my heart, energy, and mental space into an entity that will not and cannot meet me halfway. It's not about finding a new team. It's about choosing my own peace. The decision to walk away from the Mariners is the hardest choice that a Mariners fan can make. But after 40 years of giving everything, it's the only way to save my heart from the predictable cycle of devastating hope. It's a lot to take in. I'm choosing peace over perpetual disappointment that's etched in history. At the beginning of the playoffs last season, and the Mariners, at that very last game of the regular season, the Mariners lost. And so they were out of the playoffs, I believe it was for the second year in a row, by one game. They missed the playoffs by one game. Couldn't get into a wild card. That was the very first time that I started having these feelings. And where I felt like it was time for me to move on. And I made the decision at the beginning of the playoffs last year that I was going to choose another team that I had always kind of liked, and I was going to root for them throughout the entire playoffs. Now, say what you want about the team that I chose, but I chose them for many reasons. I chose the Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay? Go Dodgers. The Dodgers went on and won the whole damn thing. And a team that I was rooting for won the World Series. And now, even though it was very brief that I was rooting for them, it was the most electrifying, just warm feeling I had ever felt. A team that I rooted for the first time ever won a World Series. I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa. My buddy Angel, shout out to Angel, who I work with, he is a diehard Dodgers fan, and it's incredible to watch, and I love it. And one of the things that he told me was, "Welcome, bro. Come on board, join the train, and watch as we win the whole damn thing, and watch how good it feels." And it was, and it felt great, and I loved every second of it. And there was a little part of me that was like, well, I'm kind of cheating on the Mariners, but the reality is that, they kind of pushed me into this because it's been a one-sided relationship. The Dodgers gave me that other side that I had been craving. They came through, and they won the damn thing. And my friends, Adam and Gina, down in LA. Oh, I love you guys so much. I don't know if you listen to this, but shout out to Adam and Gina. Gina's from LA. She's a huge Dodger fan. And I was like, man, I got friends who are Dodgers fans. I can root for the Dodgers. I've liked the Dodgers. I always liked the Dodgers. They're pretty cool. My buddy Chris Ortiz, shout out Chris Ortiz. he's a freaking Dodger fan. I was like, man, I can like them. I like baseball. I can like other teams. And they won the whole thing. And this season, I jumped all in. I was like, man, the Dodgers are going to be my squad. We're going to go for it. We're going to do it. And I was all about that. And I said, you know, the Mariners are always going to be there. I'm going to love them, but they need to prove to me. They need to do something to prove to me that they're willing to go for it and that they're willing to win a World Series. And it was, man, I kind of started watching them, and I kept, you know, everybody's celebrating what Cal was doing early on. And I was like, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. Because if you hit 60 home runs and you're a platinum glove catcher and you're on a team that doesn't make the playoffs, it doesn't fucking matter. Good for you. I'm glad that you're the best player on a shitty team. Congratulations. But if you're willing to spend and go after it and bring on the talent and bring good clubhouse people who are fit for the community and a fit for the team, like Josh Naylor, right? Like Eugenio Suarez, those kind of guys. Bring those guys in here. And they did. And at the you know, All-Star break, and then at the trading deadline, they went and they got these guys. And that's when I was like, okay, you're making me happy. You're doing some of the things. I'm going to start watching again. And I started watching the Mariners again because I'm like, okay, you guys are showing me something. You're giving me a little. You're giving me a taste. And then we all know how that turned out. And look, okay, am I a jerk? Am I an asshole because I'm bouncing on them? Yeah, probably. It's called unpopular opinion. I just can't do it. But I'm doing it for self-preservation. I'm doing it as an emotional act of self-preservation. Because remember, this is supposed to be reciprocal. This is supposed to be a partnership. You're supposed to cheer and buy all these baseballs and bobbleheads that I have and all these tickets and pay $100 for parking and, you know, ride the sounder up there and wear your jerseys and wear your hats and rah, and spend $20,000 on a fucking beer. Stupid. And get excited when hot dogs fall from heaven and root for the team and cheer for the team. And they're supposed to win. Your passion is supposed to be rewarded. It has to be a sustained attempt at it. And I'll be honest with you. Am I going to be gone forever? Probably not, because I will tell you that there is one thing that will absolutely wholeheartedly bring me back to the Seattle Mariners, and that's if I start dating a Seattle Mariners fan. I will tell you, the jerseys will start coming out of the closet, out of the woodworks. I'll start pulling them out of the boxes. I'll start putting the bobbleheads all around my house again. I'll be like, oh, you're a Mariners fan? Oh, I got a whole bunch of Mariners stuff. You want to see my Ken Griffey Jr. autographed baseball? Oh, because I got one. So I say that and I laugh. Because let's be honest, I'm very lonely. And the cost of 40 years of hope, you know, has led to that, where I just can't do it anymore emotionally. I have to step away. I just can't keep pouring my heart, energy, and mental space into an entity that will not or cannot meet me halfway. I mentioned it's not about finding a new team, because it's not about finding a new team. Okay, the Dodgers are always there. They're going to probably win. I don't know. They're down one game. But it is what it is. They're probably going to win it again, back-to-back years. They're a spectacular team, arguably one of the best teams ever. Okay, but it's really about choosing my own peace. And I'm not just walking away from the Mariners. I'm walking away from baseball right now. So, unpopular opinion, the Seattle Mariners need to win a World Series in 2026 for the fans, or they need to sell the team. Let me know what you think. If I triggered any memories about these memories of the games, maybe you were at one of these games, maybe you remember these moments, you know, give me a holler. Thank you so much for listening. That's the unpopular opinion in Heart to Heart. Product of the week. I didn't bring it in here because I was so worked up about the Mariners and about doing this. It's been about a week that I was gonna do this podcast, and it's just been really tough on me. It's dragging it out. But the product of the week is a swatter. Hey, are the bugs trying to come inside where it's warm now? Do you hate it when a fly lands on your face? So do I. So I bought an electric bug swatter off a TikTok shop. And the cool thing is that it has a light that attracts. It looks like a tennis racket, and it has a light, like a blue light that attracts bugs. You can just have it plugged in, sitting on a counter, sitting on a table, and the bugs fly into it and they zap themselves. And the fly is gone. So I highly recommend if I got it for like $10. Everything I get on TikTok shop is like $10. So if you want to dream about being Ken Griffey Jr. or Cal Raleigh hitting dingers, if you want to be a big dumper hitting dingers, and you want to do that while catching flies in your house, I highly recommend to get an electronic tennis racket looking fly swatter. TikTok shop, free shipping. Do it. That's the product of the week. I love it. And I hope I described it well for those of you who are listening on the Spotify. Thank you. I'm getting so many listeners on Spotify. It's incredible. Tons of people commenting on it. Getting lots of texts. Thanks for texting me directly. I definitely appreciate that. I'm really excited to bring on my guests when they get here in the next couple weeks. We're going to do a couple more episodes, so stay tuned. And I'm going to bring on my guests, and I'm just going to tell you who they are. I'm going to have Donnie Erb, the Mount Tahoma Thunderbird himself, old Donnie Erb, my boy Donnie. He's the man. I love him. He'll probably be wearing a Mariner shirt when he comes on. And I'm going to have my big dog Matt Bell, who's going to come on. My T-Mobile brother from another mother, and he lives in Montana now, and that's how boring his life is. Hi, I'm in Montana. Just kidding. But can't wait for those guys to come on the show. I guarantee they're going to have some things to open my eyes with. I'm sure that we're going to come to a conclusion that, I'm an idiot, and that's fine. I'm prepared for that. I am absolutely prepared for that. And I know that they're going to disagree with me. I know there's going to be some things they do agree with as well. So look forward to you guys hearing it. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. Schaafy out.
Unpopular opinion, that's the name of the show. Hosted by Schaafy and some pals that he knows. We'll have a heart-to-heart, so tune in and subscribe. It's unpopular opinion and a hell of a vibe. Love it or dislike it, it's all just the same. 'Cause unpopular opinion is there in the name.
One of the things that I want to finish the show actually on is I want to tell you that I am no stranger to teams winning championships. As all of you know, I'm a diehard Laker fan. I love my Lakers, and especially Kobe Bryant. There's a painting of Kobe Bryant in my living room, and he's got 5 rings, and it was incredible. And then when LeBron came and we won another one in 2020, I'm doing just good in the basketball department. Our Seahawks have been to 3 Super Bowls. Incredible. Yes, they've only won 1, but still, we've been to 3 of them, and that's pretty darn dope. So I am no stranger to teams winning. So one of the big things about me bouncing on the Mariners is the fact that they haven't even gone to the show. They can't even. They're the only team ever in the history of Major League Baseball to not go to a World Series. And boom, there you go. Frickin' Seattle Storm have won a bunch of frickin' championships. Mount Tahoma Thunderbirds are about to win the frickin' Narrows division, or whatever they call it now. Shit, they're ranked number 1 in state. Let's see how far that goes. That's incredible. Oh, Mount Tahoma hasn't been there since 1980 and 81, right? They won back-to-back state championships, and that's fine. I was born in 81. But we have no short of winning many state titles. Shit, we went to high school. My old friend Richard Kruger, I haven't talked to him since the 10-year reunion, but he was a 2-time state swimming champion. His Letterman jacket was amazing. The JROTC, we were number 1 in the state for our color guard team. Jason Doval, what? Shout out to Jason. We were number 1 in the state. So Mount Tahoma's pulling its weight. Seahawks are pulling their weight. The Storm are pulling their weight. My Lakers pulling their weight. And there's so many other teams. Okay, I get it. I should write the same letter to my Toronto Maple Leafs because they haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1969. So arguably I should start putting this letter together soon, but they have been trying their best and getting into the playoffs. They've just been losing to better teams. Okay, so I'm an oxymoron and I'm contradicting myself and whatever. I don't live in Toronto. That's all I got. Love you guys. Bye.